Hi, welcome to the podcast for When the Curves Line Up for March 1st, 2024, featuring celestial events for the month of March. Please see the article that includes diagrams of the events on the website at whenthecurveslineup.com. Text by Jeffrey L. Hunt. In Chicago, sunrise occurs at 7:25 a.m. Central Standard Time followed by sunset at 5:42 p.m. The bright planets are in transition from either morning to evening sky or evening to morning sky. Jupiter is easily visible after sundown, but it sets earlier throughout the month. By month's end it sets 3 hours after nightfall, 2 hours earlier than this evening. The planet moves eastward in front of Aries, east of an imaginary line from Hamal to Menkar. On the evening of March 13th, the crescent moon, 18% illuminated, is 3.1 degrees to the upper right of Jupiter. They both fit into the same binocular field of view. Look for Earthshine. Sunlight reflected from Earth's features gently lights up the lunar night between the moon's cusps or horns. Photograph the scene with a tripod-mounted camera. In the morning sky Venus slips into brighter twilight. This morning it rises less than an hour before the sun, appearing very low in the east-southeast. By the end of the month, it rises only 30 minutes before the sun, mostly lost in bright sunlight. Mars and Saturn are emerging from bright sunlight into the eastern morning sky. This morning the red planet rises 65 minutes before the sun. By itself, Mars is lost in the sun's light. At 30 minutes before sunrise, it appears with Venus in the same binocular field of view. By the end of the month, the planet rises only 6 minutes earlier than this morning. Saturn follows Mars across the east-southeast horizon near the time of sunrise. After its solar conjunction 2 mornings ago, the ringed wonder is awash in bright sunlight. By month's end it rises 53 minutes before the sun. Mars passes by during early April. This month's planetary highlight is Mercury. The planet emerges from bright evening twilight in the west-southwest during the month's second week. Standing over 5 degrees above the west horizon at 45 minutes after sunset, the planet is bright and easy to see without a binocular's optical assistance. As the planet appears farther from the sun, it dims, but it is easily visible. While the moon is not nearby when Mercury is at its best, the lunar orb is visible above the speedy planet on the 11th. On the previous evening, the very thin moon is below Mercury and in the same binocular field of view, but the lunar orb is very close to the horizon during bright twilight. On the 24th, Mercury appears farthest from the sun, known as greatest elongation. 45 minutes after sundown, it is nearly 10 degrees up in the west and over 20 degrees to the lower right of bright Jupiter. As for the dim planets, Uranus, Neptune, and the 9th classic planet Pluto can be challenging views. Neptune is in bright evening twilight. It reaches solar conjunction on the 17th. Uranus is visible through a binocular between Jupiter and the Pleiades star cluster. It moves very slowly and the chart shown in an article published last month is still helpful to find this distant world. Pluto is west of Venus and Mars. A large telescope and a very dark sky are needed to locate this distant body. As the month opens, the moon is in the southern sky with the Scorpion. For sky watchers at the mid-northern latitudes, the creature is low in the south as astronomical winter concludes. Here's what to look for. March 1st, the gibbous moon, 71% illuminated, is in the south-southwest, 3.9 degrees to the lower left of Zubin el-Janubi, the Scorpion's southern claw. The star is part of Libra. March 2nd, with an illumination of 62%, the lunar orb is 4.8 degrees to the lower right of Chuba, Scorpius Phorid. March 3rd, for sky watchers in southeastern North America, the Caribbean Basin, Mexico, and Central America, the morning half-moon, last quarter, occults or eclipses, Rosie Antares, the constellation's brightest star. From the Chicago region, the occultation is in progress as the moon rises, shortly after 1:30 a.m. Farther westward during twilight, the moon is slightly east of Antares. Look carefully for it next to the bright moon. March 4th, While the moon is in front of Ophiuchus, it is over 8 degrees to the upper left of Shola and Lysith, also known as the cat's eyes, at the scorpion's tail. On March 14, the evening crescent moon, 28% illuminated, appears in the same binocular field with the Pleiades star cluster. This is a beautiful scene and a photogenic view. The moon passes Aldebaran on the 15th, Elnath, 16th, Pollux, 18th, Regulus, 21st, Spica, 26th, and Antares, 30th, for the second time this month, and another occultation for sky watchers in Micronesia and most of Polynesia. As a prelude to the April 8 solar eclipse, the moon passes through the outer region of Earth's target-shaped shadow on the evening of March 24, beginning at 11:51 p.m. Central Time. This penumbral lunar eclipse is largely visible across the Americas. It is subtle and not magnificent like a total lunar eclipse, when the moon's color appears coppery or orange. The maximum eclipse occurs at 2:12 a.m. The moon is slightly darker than a typical full moon, but it is easy to miss. The event ends at 4:34 a.m. The vernal equinox occurs March 19, 10:06 p.m. Central Daylight Time. Clocks are advanced 1 hour on the morning of the 10th. Daylight does not gain an hour. By advancing the clock an hour, daylight is shifted to the evening hours. From the 9th to the 10th, daylight only increases 3 minutes, from the seasonal change of the approaching equinox. March promises wonderful events, even with the planets in transition relative to the Sun. Do not miss Mercury and the Moon's appearance with Antares, Jupiter, and the Pleiades. Thank you for listening. Please read the articles at whenthecurveslineup.com.